Good evening and welcome, everyone. It is October the 23rd, Monday. It is a promise delivered awakening. I want to take a few seconds and welcome those who are new to the call this evening. Whomever invited you, thank you for bringing some more ears to hear what is about to be released to the world. Um, my name is Montavo Lewis, and I am part of the creators that have put together a platform that I'm pretty sure that you won't need anything else in your life as far as internet is concerned. I know that people use that statement a lot and has been used up one side of the wall and down the other. But a lot of times they use that to catch people. It's a catchy saying. Oh, this is the first time this has ever been done. Even what I'm bringing is not the first time it's been done. This will be the first time that it's implemented like this. Just to be fair, nothing that we do under the sun right now has not been already done. So there's nothing new. Okay, there might be some enlightening, but everything that we are trying to do that we call new has already been done before, just was never recognized. So, with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about what it is, then where it is, and then the update for this evening. So, what is a promise delivered? First and foremost, I would ask you to just stop right there and say the title. The title is everything that a promise delivered is. It's just that simple, but just that expansive. So, when a person says a promise delivered, it's a statement, number one. Number two, it is a way of life that we're supposed to be in. And number three, it's yours. So when I say that, I mean it. And pretty much a promise delivered is a lot of things wrapped in one. It is a proprietary software that is being built from paper, literally a piece of paper. Okay. It was written down several times, changed a couple times, and it's been given to now the second programmer. The first one ran off with a bunch of money. We're not going to talk about that. But the second one has taken what I put on paper and amplified it. Literally. I can't even halfway explain how much he has added to something that was already crazy. Okay. And I say that in a good way. Um, My pet peeve is to make something that is easy to do. I also like to make sure whatever it is we're doing that is duplicatable, which means you should be able to do it without issue. Okay. Is it 100% automated? Pretty much. Pretty much. Um, is there some things you'll have to do? Yes. Yes. There's no way to have a program after looking at what it would take to do that where you don't touch it at all. It's literally impossible. I mean, it's not impossible, but very expensive. And this was already um, 5 years in the making. Uh, a couple quotes, upwards of 250,000 to produce. Of course, nowhere near that. But I did find a programmer that is gifted in the style of code writing and problem solving. Okay, so he did both. He's written the code to this platform and solved a bunch of problems. The first problem was having it 100% automated where you don't do nothing. That's impossible. Um, like I said, it can be done, but a lot of money. It takes a lot of money to have something that hands off, if you would. So you will have to do a few things, not a lot. Just keep up with it, but we've already discussed that anyway. Remember how I said that the website is going to email you on a regular basis? Yeah, it's actually going to do. That's what he wrote. It's funny how what I already stated, he wrote, and the two mixed, and then he solved a few other problems along the way. There was one additional piece put to it, added on, which required more time for him to do. And I already said at the very moment that he came to me, because we were looking for a date as of this week to be finished. It's not, but it's not going to be much longer. The update that I get, or our talk that we have, is every Tuesday, because he works. He is a real programmer for his real work, and this is side stuff. So I don't expect him to put his way of living and to pay his bills to get something done for me that he can do on his time. So again, I know everybody's ready to be in it and it going and all that. But like I said at the very beginning, when I got him, I wanted to make sure he had enough time to solve problems, to write out exactly what I, requested of him, and to keep it economical. Okay, that's the big part. What he's already written is close to $40,000. Okay, that's the blessing that we have. Um, of course, we didn't pay anywhere near that, and that's a blessing too. But again, I don't want to rush perfection, and that's what he is creating. So, with that being said, where are we? Again, he's just about done. It was tested for 1 week, just mechanically tested to make sure all the movements and parts do what they're supposed to do. Does it deposit here? Can you pull from here? Do we have to add this? That was the last Tuesday call. We sat down. It was still 2 hours. Literally, of course, the Zoom kept dropping, but it takes time. Okay. But we did hammer out the pay thing, because there was a problem with how the funds would come out, how the funds go in, how to separate stuff. As I said, once this launch happens, there is a $25 admin fee that goes directly to a promise delivered. Then there's the 175 to join and participate. Those two had to be separated. Okay. I was, under the impression maybe, just put in the 200 and it would split it by itself. Nope. 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 That's going to bind everything up. So when you go to the website to join, if you have not yet sent the $25, there's two ways you can send it right now. That's Zelle or Cash App. I'm leaning more towards Cash App after I tell you what happened today, which I need you to really, really, really pay attention when I get to that part. And of course, I'll bring it back up. But those two had to be separated. And that is being worked on as we speak. There is also a new wallet that is going to be introduced to us through him that works a lot smoother than WireX and all these other guys. But still, I would highly recommend trying to find which one you like. The list and 1, 2, 3, 4 videos. Is it 4 videos? It's either 3 or 4 videos and the audio with the list are coming out after this call. Like I said, today was a whirlwind when I tell you about it. What is it? 8 o'clock, 7:30. I got off the phone from 2:30 in the afternoon. Okay, so where we are with A Promise Delivered is right where we need to be. I'm extremely happy with the progress. I have seen the back office. I've seen the website making, not the full website. The designers come next, but what they do, they can do in a night. But he's still doing the mechanics of it and make sure it does what I need it to do without issue. Now, the second week of testing will be a live test. Now, as I said, and I noticed over the past weekend, there's a lot of people making mistakes. Okay. And those mistakes are email addresses. Here we go right back. Now, I have requested that you slow down, take your time, look at it, make sure it says .com, not comma, com. I know the dot and the comma are right next to each other on the keyboard. Stop trying to act like you're a special typist and look at the keyboard. I know some of y'all can type. I get it. I get it. But when you make that one little slip, one little pinky hit the wrong key, and you don't proofread it and send it to me, when I go to send an email, I'm looking at the email rejection or bounce list, and there's 15 emails in there. Incorrect email addresses. I can't fix your email address. I don't know what your email is. If there's a dot, if there's a dash, underscore, I don't know. So 15 of you won't get an email when it comes time to do this. So here's what I'm going to do, because I'm tired of fixing stuff that you are in total control over. There is no need to rush to fill out a form. There's every need to check it twice before you send it, because it goes to a spreadsheet. I would show you, but everybody's information, phone number, and stuff is on there. And I don't want that, that's a no. I'm not going to show the spreadsheet, but you get my point. When it gets on the spreadsheet, they're really small lines and it's real close. I would have to get on top of the screen with a magnifying glass to make sure a dot is not a comma and a comma is not a dot. I'm not doing that. I'm not. You have to put the information in there correctly. If you don't, you won't receive an email. Plain and simple. Okay, so what I'm going to do is when I launch this thing, there's going to be two launches. There's going to be a launch with those who have put the $25 up, and then there's going to be everybody else. If you don't receive an email when I do second launch is, like I said, for those who didn't send in the 25. You go when you send it in. But I'm going to let you know when that time comes. So you should be receiving an email within 3 to 5 days or whatever, however long it takes to put everybody through the system. So it sends an email to you. I'll know when that system has sent all the emails. Whatever day it takes, however many days it takes to send out those emails with the invite in it, that's when I'll know whose email wasn't correct, because it'll spit those out. And then we'll go down that list. Your name will be called out on the call. That's the only way I can see to do this. I'm not trying to embarrass you, but I can't fix your stuff. The form is simple enough. People get in a hurry and don't want to proofread their own typing. That's on you. Okay. So I will have to call you out, and then you send in the proper information so that you can receive your invite to go in. Simple as that. So I'm done going through that list over and over and over, trying to get that information correct. Okay. So that I'm done with that. Next, where are we going? All right. So like I said, once I get the okay from him that I can load it live, I'm going to do so and then test it to make sure payments go to where they're supposed to go. Does the system actually send it? All that good stuff. And once I'm satisfied, not everybody else, me, once I'm good with it and I know that it's going to treat you right when you jump in there, we'll launch. Like I said, there will be 2 launches. The first launch will be with everyone who sent in 25 prior to launch. The second is everybody else. Okay? Everybody's going to go in, but you still have to send the 25 at the front gate. But you'll have to send it somewhere else, and then the 175 goes to the program. Here's one document that I did not send out that I am going to send out along with the videos and the website. I mean, not the website, but the list of all the stuff that I needed to send to you. I'm going to send out that list of wallets and cold storage because it works for both programs. Okay. And you'll see what I mean in just a minute. I want you to take your time, number one, because I don't want a lot of mistakes. Mistakes create traffic jams. So when you go to the website, when you get your invite, I'm just giving you a heads up. When you get your invite, it's going to be a very colorful email. This is why I'm doing it like this, so you won't skip over it thinking it's whatever. You'll know it's from a promise delivered. Trust what I'm telling you. When you get that email, I want you to take a cup of tea, a glass of tea, go get a couple cookies if you can eat them, take a deep breath, relax, and go line for line. Don't try to fill it out real quick and submit it. That's not going to do you any good because if you make mistakes there, it's going to spit you out. And I won't know about it until after the first run. The first run might be 100 people. So you're sitting while 100 other people do what they're supposed to. Don't do that. Don't be that person because there's nothing I could do. Once it goes in and it spits you out, you have to sit still until after that full run because it's going to grab 100 at a time and send out the emails. That's how I know how this is working. 100 people at a time. That's remember how I said the person gets on the elevator, goes up to the first level and then comes back down. Then the elevator you jump on. That's going to do 100 up and downs. So it'll space it out. That's why you'll have to sit and wait until that 100 is finished. And any kickouts, depending on what it's kicked out for, could be zip code, could be, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. But what I'm going to say to you is this. Do what you have to do to slow down and take your time and fill out each field slowly and check it twice. There's no need to rush. Once you get your invite, you're in one somewhere in that 100. It isn't going to matter what number you are. So stop looking to be number one person. It's not going to matter. Trust what I'm telling you. What's going to matter is you put that information in there correctly. And when you submit it, everything is correct. So you don't get spit out and sit off to the side and wait for 100 people to do it. Okay, you could be number one, but if you mess up, guess what you are? 101. You get my point? I hope that's clear. Thumbs up if you can, if we understand what I'm saying to you. Thank you. And I do like camera when I'm on this meeting. It's a respect thing. Okay, if you have a working camera on your computer, turn it on. You're part of a family. We're too quick to hide. If you're hiding from yourself. Okay, so don't be afraid to open up. You learn more when you stop hiding. Okay, Now, if you're in your nightwear, of course, keep the camera off. We don't want to see that. But if you're in business attire, as you should be, this is a business meeting. I should be seeing you. That's the trust. Does that make sense? That's the trust. You're part of a family. So that's just my little pet peeve, things I ask for from those who participate with me. I understand you're at work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Be safe. Don't get in trouble. It's just a thing. That's just my thing. I make myself available. I like to see those who can be available. I get the people at work. I've seen CJ in the truck bouncing around, but he still turns it on for a hot second to let me know he's there. So, where are we going? What is A Promise Delivered going to do for me, for you, for them, for everybody? Number one, day one, day one of launch, it's international. Okay. We already know step one, step two, cash. Okay. That's just my way of saying here. Okay. Most programs that you get in, there's a whole lot of qualification required, a whole lot of this and that to do in order to see something. Not with A Promise Delivered. Step one, step two, you receive. From step 3 to 12 is all crypto. All crypto. Now, I suggest, and I use a capital S, suggest when you get this email with the storage, cold storage, and the wallets, there's not a whole lot of them. I mean, there are, but I didn't pick the biggest list I could find. I wanted to make it small and then you shrink it from there. If you already have a wallet that you like that has a debit card functionality, which means that the wallet has its own debit card where you can shop with it without doing all this converting and exchange and all selling it and try to make money to no. You want a wallet that has debit card functionality. WireX is the one I'm pushing because I like it. Doesn't mean you have to get it. Some people have great success with it, some people don't. It's not the end of the world. If it's not working for you, go to the next one. That's why I'm sending you a list. But what I would ask you to do, these websites do the breakdown on the wallets, its features, the ease of use, where it's accepted. Not all wallets are US accepted. And if you're out of the US, look at where that card services. There's no sense getting a wallet you can't use. Okay. Now, cold storage, same thing. Same thing. You have to look at which one is easy to use if you've never used one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then definitely you want to read all of the features on each one, watch a couple videos. YouTube is the college or whatever you want to call it. If you want to learn it, put it in YouTube. That's what I'm using to teach with. Look them up, find out which one works for you. You may be using Apple. Some of those things, don't work with Apple. Some do. Find out what works best for you. Then once you find one or two, narrow it down to one or both. Get one of this and one of those. Okay? Just remember each one of these cold storage wallets, which is better known on this call as the bank, all of them have their own particular features that they do. Read the features. Stop not reading. I don't know what it is. Nobody wants to read anymore. You have to read, even if you don't like to. That's the only way you're going to know what that device does and how easy it's going to be for you to use it. Cold storage is the bank, your bank. Now, that's where a promise deliver is going to go. Okay. Eventually, it's going to take care of you in that realm. You're going to use crypto until they bring out something else. Now, what time is it? 8:30. I'm going to give you a 15-minute story while I was on the phone from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 7:30. 2 o'clock in the afternoon to just a hour ago now. Why was I on the phone that long? Let me explain something to you if you're not aware of it at this moment. And I have talked about this before, and I'm really going to talk about it now. Please pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you because it happened to me and someone else. I'm not going to give names. The U.S. banking system is done, fried, over. Now, I'll say that one more time to let it sink in. The US banking system is over. If you have large amounts of money in the bank, if you don't pay attention to nothing else I say tonight, listen up. I looked at my bank. I get an unemployment check. Okay? $460. That's it. I took that 460 and Zelled it to another account so that I could pay a bill. All right? Simple. No problem. Always do that. Looked at the other account, no money. What do you mean, no money? Zelle takes all of 30 seconds. It's there, right? No money. So I said, all right, no big deal. I'll call the bank and see what's going on. I get a text on my phone that says $466 has been deposited into your Wells Fargo account. Wells Fargo? This was sent to PNC. Why am I getting a text saying Wells Fargo? Prior to that, another individual was sending in the $25. They sent actually $30, went to the Wells Fargo account. Why am I getting a text saying funds are going to your account at Wells Fargo when it's being sent to PNC? Gets worse. Someone else also sent money to Zelle 4 times. All went to a Wells Fargo account. So at this point, I'm irate, one, because I cannot pay the bill that I was waiting for this check for because it's tied up, as they say. They'll get it to me in 14 days. The bill's due today. What what about that? Oh, we're investigating. Listen to the words. Call the bank. Call PNC first. I said, what's the problem? Why is my Zelle going to a Wells Fargo account that I don't have? Oh, could have been a misfire or the information. You might have to check with the person who sent it. I said, I sent it. to a PNC account. Someone had removed my number off of the PNC Zelle account, put theirs on. And then any funds that came to my Zelle went to their Wells Fargo. So I pick up the phone again. Now I'm calling Wells Fargo. Got on the phone, fraud department. I asked a question. I said, so there's a problem. Someone is using one of your accounts to siphon or get in between my Zelle account, and those funds are going to a Wells Fargo account. I called PNC. PNC gave me the person's name and the last four digits of the account. So I asked Wells Fargo, I said, this is a fraud situation now. So I need the individual's name that's on front of this account. Ivan, um, what is his name? Gomez or something like that. Gonzalez. Ivan Gonzalez. Okay. You know what they told me? Oh, we can't give you any information on this person because we haven't talked to them to verify their account. So you're telling me that you can't give me the person Ivan Gomez's information that's attached to account such and such, the last four digits, that has stole money from me and another person. The other person really, my heart goes out to you. It was a very large amount of money. So my question to the bank was, why can't you give me this information? This is a clear case of fraud, deception, and theft of my money. Well, we can't give you, bank rules say that we can't divulge their information until we speak with them and verify their account. I said, are you slow? Do you think a bank robber is going to sit down with you and have a conversation about an account that he's using to steal money? Seriously? This is what they told me. I have told you guys before, the banks are behind this money snatch. That's what it is. The reason why they wouldn't give me that information is because it's coming from them. The only way you can take a number off of a bank account, you have to get through all the verification, all the passwords to get to that part of it, to remove a phone number and add one on without verification. Who can do that? Who has the access to that information? The bank. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and if you don't listen to me tonight, whose fault is it? Just yesterday, Friday, I think it was Thursday, $88 billion was removed from bank accounts across 5 different banks. Chase was one of them. That was Thursday. Saturday, 44 billion was taken out of all the accounts over 5 to 6, 7 banks. Family, if you don't listen to me, you're going to become a victim like the person and myself and someone else's $30 that they was trying to send for the program thing, and now that money's tied up over there too. Look, I know your banking is your that's personal information. That is your decision. What you're doing with your bank is your business. But damn it, they're going to take your money. because they're failing. They're going to take it. If you leave it in there, they're going to take it. So if you don't listen and it happens to you, do not come to me saying, "What did you do?" Because I'm going straight to the FBI. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And if I have to arrest some Wells Fargo and PNC employees, they will be arrested. I know $500 isn't a lot of money, but I no longer can pay that bill for 14 days or longer. What happens to the bill? That's my car note. They come hook the car. Guess what? I can't go to work. If I can't go to work, then what? This goes. You see what I'm saying? So if you have it in there, you better get it out. That's all I'm saying on it. What you do with it after that is up to you. I'm going digital with it. This is the reason why I've said already, if you're not familiar with crypto, you better get serious on that right now, because I'm switching from cash to crypto as of tomorrow. Okay. So the 25 you send, that's going to be, going to Cash App. I don't trust the banks anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm going to remove the Zelle option and it'll be Cash App only or a money order. One of the two. I don't trust the banks anymore. I'm done with them. I didn't like them in the beginning to start with because of their, tactics, but I'm living proof of it. 500 out of my pocket, almost 10,000 out of somebody else's. And we're just supposed to say, "Oh, well, we'll wait for you to fix it." Are you serious? So it happens. It is happening, and it's going to get worse if you don't move it. Turn it in crypto. You can go USDT, which is, still like a dollar, whatever they're saying our money is. At least it's something you can use, but you can put it in your own bank, and that's the cold storage. When you put it over there, nobody can mess with it. Nobody can debit it. Nobody can get in between its movement because it's in your bank, in your safe, at your house. As long as it's at that bank, they can do what they want to it with it. Take it from you. What can you do? Nothing. So take heed. All that talking, all that back and forth with the banks, 14 days for a bill I needed to pay today. Okay? Play with them if you want to. You'll lose. Now, am I going to sue Wells Fargo and PNC? Yep, sure am. Got proof. It's still on my phone. I'm going to have the FBI go to Wells Fargo and find Ivan Gomez. They will go subpoena all the accounts with Ivan Gomez, and those last 4 digits of that account number is going to bring up somebody going to an ATM and taking the money that they stole from us. Is that going to be expensive? Absolutely. Because they don't do anything for free. Will it be worth it? Probably not, because banks are getting ready to leave anyway. But when it hit home, of course, it had to hit me. Now, if you think I'm making this story up just to have something to talk about tonight, I'll show you proof. But if you leave large amounts in there, it's going to be your fault. Switch it to a crypto, put it on your cold storage. Because if you leave it there, they are going to take it. Okay? All the banks are leaving. They can't stick around the way things are. The economy is shot. There's nothing backing the Wall Street. There's nothing backing our money. And we're bleeding out of both arms all over the world. We are currently funding 2 wars, Ukraine and Israel. We're sending billions of dollars to 2 different wars. And one of them, we're sending money to both sides. Israel and Gaza, we supply both sides. Now, how is that? How do you supply both sides of a war? And we're over here starving to death, basically. Family, if you don't listen to me, I'm telling you what I know. And I know this is not going to turn out any better than this little skirmish that I had. It's going to be a lot harder for some of you because you've worked for years. You have very large 501s put up, 40 whatever. Don't leave it in there. They're going to take it. There's no getting it back when they take it. Okay? All right. So the last thing that I want to talk about tonight is where are we going to go once the crash happens? And the crash is coming. Okay? There is no doubt about it. What do you do next? How do you rebound from it? Like I said, get yourself a wallet and get a cold storage of some sort. You will have the email tonight. I fixed as many emails as I could. Everybody's on the blast list. I'm just going to put everything in the blast and send it. You're going to see the Kids Corner video. Maybe some information there is good for you, but I'm not going to separate them. I didn't get the email addresses that I needed, so I'm just going to blast it out to everybody. You're going to see the 4 calls. You're going to see audio, the 2 lists, wallets, cold storage. If you don't have one, you're going to need one of each. I would suggest that you get one coming your way as soon as you can. I seriously don't see this lasting another month. Could be less than that. Because when it happens, you're not going to get a warning. This is the warning. You're looking at it. The next thing is the slap in the face. This man has given away this country, literally, and all the people pulling the strings. When it happens, it's not going to be pretty. Trust what I'm telling you. Get the things you need in your house. Water, food that you can make with water, because if the lights go out, how do you eat? How do you keep the stuff in the freezer? Save some seeds. I'm telling you, it's going to be ugly, very ugly. And if you're not prepared, or if you don't know how, I suggest you get on YouTube and start listening to something, how to plant food. It could get that ignorant where you have to grow your own food. Should be anyway, but you may be forced to, or you don't eat. Okay. So I'm not trying to scare you. I'm telling you what happened to me. I am out of the unemployment for this week. Gone. Account says 0. I have no control over that. They have all the control. All the debit cards in the world mean nothing if there's 0 in the bank. Okay. So do what you do. But I would highly recommend you get on it immediately and make sure you have a backup to your backup. Like I said, go to the laundromat, take $40 and get quarters. because that may be how you eat. Because when that paper drops, when there's no more paper usage, you might be able to give some quarters for something to eat. Look at the grocery store. Look and see how many people are actually going to the grocery store. How many trucks are in the back? See, there's certain things you got to look at. Are the shelves filled all the way to the back of the shelf? Or are they front filled? Look on the shelf on your next time you go to a grocery store. You'll notice everything is pulled up front, but there's space behind. Used to be from the front to the back of the wall, right? As far as you reach back, there would be cans or whatever. Now they're all pulled up front because they're rationing money. They're rationing the food to the grocery stores. But everybody just looks at the counter. They grab the one off the front and go on down the aisle. Never even thought to look behind that one you just took. Is there a bunch of them back there or is it empty? Next time you go to the grocery store, do that. That's called front selling. Supply is low. Ships aren't moving it. They paid farmers not to plant. Were you aware of that? There was a bill put out that they would pay the farmer not to plant on purpose. That is called forced food shortage. You have trains crashing all across the United States. Where are they crashing at? At the water supply. Where do all the trains crash? Next to a natural water source, dumping all kinds of chemicals in the water. You have to pay attention. You have to watch what they're doing. And like I said before, look up. Clouds don't come in straight lines, sweethearts. They don't come in straight lines. And that's been going on for years. No one looks up. Every once in a while you're driving, you happen to lean back and look at the sky. Why are the lines going across this way, just that way? What is that? You know what it is. Anyway, like I said, not trying to scare anybody, but a lot of people are not paying attention, and the time is about us. Okay? It is time for you to pay attention to what's going on. The first part is to secure your finances. Take control of your money. If it's in a crypto form, at least you have it. Digital money is coming this direction. It's going to be in that format regardless. Whether you want to believe that or not is up to you. Like I told the youngins on Thursday, evolution. Your money is going to evolve. The whole process and the way we use monies is evolving right in front of you. Are you paying attention? Are you listening? Are you reading? Now's the time. All right. So that's why A Promise Delivered is going to make sure you have plenty of crypto. Okay. Or whatever form they go to, we'll be able to slip right on in. It'll convert as they convert. Whatever they're going to, or whatever is accepted as a currency in this country, A Promise Delivered is available to the switch at the split second. I'm telling you, this young man is outstanding. That's why it's important that when you fill out this form, you want to be a part of A Promise Delivered. Listen to the name. You are supposed to live in abundance. You are supposed to live as a loving family. That's the way we're supposed to be living. All right. So let me stop the recording.